Hey friends, I know you've been learning English for a while, but why haven't you learned English yet? You're gonna be shocked. This is why. The English teaching industry is a multi-billion-dollar business. And guess where all that money comes from? You, the learner who truly wants to learn English and be able to communicate in English. So it's no surprise that they take your money and promise you if you buy this course, you're gonna learn English, but actually never give you everything you need to learn English. Why? Because the moment you learn English, you stop paying them and they're not gonna make money from you. Just think about how much you've already spent. $15 on an app, $50 on a grammar book, or maybe hundreds of dollars on courses and private classes. Now imagine this, there are 1.5 billion English learners around the world. If each one spends just $20 a month, that's $30 billion every single month and more than $360 every single year. But if you finally master English, you won't need another app, another course, or another grammar book. And that's bad for their business. So what do? They keep you dependent on the system. They keep you stuck in this endless loop of learning English but never truly learning it. Because that's how they keep the money coming in from you. And even if you haven't spent a single dollar yet, deep down you feel guilty. You think, if I had taken that course, I would be able to speak English by now. That's exactly what this industry does to us. If you don't spend money, you feel guilty, you feel bad. If you do spend money, your English is still not fluent. And they tell you, you need one more course, you need one more private class. You see, they've created a cycle where you're always paying but never fluent. Then there's the other side. There's so many YouTubers claiming, I learned English in 3 months. I became fluent in English in just 1 month. Let me be honest with you. That's pure clickbait, absolute nonsense. Definitely, you can learn English in 3 months or become fluent in English in just 1 month. Not even if you're living in an English-speaking country. Fluency and learning English takes time. You need consistent practice and the right strategies. There's no magic shortcuts. So how do you actually learn English the right way? Step 1, stop feeling bad or guilty for not learning English yet. Look, it's not your fault. Nobody taught you the right way to learn. You didn't know the strategies. You didn't know the process. So it's not your fault. Don't be like, oh, I'm bad at English. Or maybe I'll never learn English. Or I just don't have that talent to learn English. Learning English isn't something you're born bad or good at. Definitely, learning English isn't about talent. It's about knowing the right method to learn. So stop blaming yourself. Forget it. That ends today. Step 2, take a moment and be honest with yourself. Do you really want to learn English? Why? What's the reason? Because once you reach that point where you can clearly say, yes, I want to learn English. I want to learn English because I want to work in an English-speaking country, or because I want to study in an English-speaking country, or simply because I want to impress my boyfriend. That's okay. No matter what the reason is, that clarity becomes your fuel. Sure, we all kind of know why we're learning English, but it's kind of sitting there in the back of our mind. And when your reason stays in the background, it's weak. It doesn't drive you. But when you take that reason, bring it to the front, make it crystal clear, when you write it down, something changes. Suddenly, it's not a thought, it's a commitment, it's a desire. So instead of saying, I want to learn English, I want to improve my English, you'll be like, I'm learning English because I want to get that job in London in 2 years. You see it, you feel it. That reason pulls you forward. And step number 3, it's time to work on your English. And the first thing you need is comprehensible input. It's evidence-based, backed by so many linguists and experts. You see, in English, like in any language, there are so many new words, new structures, and new patterns to learn. But here is the secret. to make the mistake, your brain needs to make a meaningful connection between what you're hearing, what you're seeing, and sometimes what you're feeling. And that's where comprehensible input comes in. It gives your brain the context it needs to absorb language. So what is comprehensible input? This is comprehensible input. Put your earrings on. Take your earrings off. Put your glasses on. Take your glasses off. So this is comprehensible input, which is really important. You see, the hippocampus in our brain that is responsible for forming and consolidating memories. It stores new words, but only transfers them to long-term memory when they are connected to meaning and context. So that's why comprehensible input is so important. Have you noticed how mothers or parents in general talk to their babies all the time? They narrate everything. Oh, look, this is your toy. Oh, you're hungry. Let's eat. Wow, you're smiling. Are you happy? They're giving them comprehensible input. They don't sit down and teach them grammar or give them vocabulary lists. Of course, they don't. They just describe what's happening around them in simple and clear language that the baby can connect to their real-world experiences. This is comprehensible input in action. When parents do this, they're creating strong associations in the baby's brain. The sound of the word toy links to the object that they can see and touch. The word hungry links to the feeling in their body. The word happy links to the emotions that they're experiencing. And that's amazing. This is the same way adults learn a second language best. When you listen to English that is clear, meaningful, and connected to real situations, your brain processes it like a baby's brain does. And don't worry, I've got some excellent free resources to help you start using comprehensible input. I'll drop the link in the description box. Step number 4, pull out the information you consumed about English. So basically, you learn something, you put in some information, and then try to pull it out. Try to use it yourself. If you don't use it, if you don't do this step, you're gonna understand English but never be able to speak it. That's why so many of you are like, oh, why I understand English but I can't speak English? Because you don't have enough output. Think of learning a language like building a beautiful house. Comprehensible input is all the bricks, wood, and paint you gather, the raw materials. But if you just pile them up in your yard and never actually start building, you'll never have a house. The walls won't rise, the roof won't go up, and the doors won't swing open. Output is picking up the hammer, laying the bricks, and actually building your house. Without output, all your materials just sit there and your dream house remains a pile of potential. When it comes to output, one of the easiest and most effective way that I used it myself is to narrate what you're doing, what you're thinking, or what you're feeling in your head or out loud. Trust me, if you do this consistently, you'll notice that your English is improving so fast. Now, if you're asking, why does this work? Well, because narrating forces your brain to use the language, not just recognize it. It connects the words and the grammar you know to real life situations. Back then, when I started narrating to improve my English, I'd do it everywhere. I remember I'd go for a walk and talk to myself. Then I noticed that people would look at me like I was alien. People would stare at me like, oh, look at her, she's crazy, poor girl. Just because I was talking to myself in English to practice English. So to get rid of the bad opinion about me, I got creative. I wore masks so they don't notice and think I was crazy. You see, sometimes people are so critical, right? Now, when you speak to yourself, something definitely will happen. Sometimes you want to say a word that you don't know, or sometimes you want to use a sentence structure that you're unsure of. That's okay. The key is to find a way to say it anyway. Use simple language if you don't know the exact word. If something feels difficult, focus on getting your message across. Just express what is in your head. And don't be worried. As you keep practicing and exposing to more comprehensible input, your vocabulary and sentence structures will grow, and you'll naturally be able to say more. And your speaking becomes smoother, faster, and more confident. If you want to learn more, you can watch my video on fluency. Alright guys, that's it for today's video. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. I'll see you in my next video.